hold on, Ichiban. What's all this about going to Osaka?
Turns out Arakawa-san needs some help. My help. Mitsu just called me and said Arakawa-san's already on his way to Sotenbori.
But why Osaka?
I don't know. I didn't bother to ask.
You realize Sotenbori is where the Omi Alliance is headquartered. You'll be screwed if your cover gets blown. Think about that, would you?
All I need to think about is that Arakawa-san said he needs me. He's going to Osaka, so I'm going to Osaka. I don't care what anyone says about it.
He gets like this, Adachi-san.
And there's no point stopping him, is there? Loyalty is admirable. Jeez.
Ichiban, what about Ijincho? The election's coming up. We helped you make all that money to fight Ryo Aoki. Now you're just gonna leave us hanging?
Not at all. We got the 3 million yen we needed. And I'm gonna go give it to the Seiryu clan right now.
We may have the money, but that hasn't solved our lack of a candidate. Certainly a necessary element of the plan.
Didn't Chairman Hoshino say he'd take care of it? Don't worry. He's the kind of guy who keeps his word. If we give him the cash, he'll do the rest.
If you say so. Safe travels then.
Hey, don't encourage him to do such dangerous things. Kasuga, if you really are leaving, we're coming with you.
Sounds good to me. I've never been to Osaka.
Guys, I'm not going there as a tourist. I'm going straight into the Lion's Den. Assuming Adachi-san is right and that's where the Yomi home base is. You guys don't need to get involved. This is personal for me.
Come on, man. After all we've been through, aren't we friends?
Of course. I'm saying this because we're friends. If something happens to me out there, you gotta finish what we started.
Still sounds like a load of crap to me.
Well, think what you want. But we got the 3 million yen, and I'm taking it to Hoshino. I'll see all of you around.
Toりあえず1、2、3クソ前向き。お酒の話か。軽い安いウイスキーをボトルに入れてごまかしていけばバレるの時間の問題
Hey,
な。
Mamba. Anything gone down yet with that legend malt?
Well, I've been watching the counter like a hawk. But the bartender wasn't kidding when he said nobody comes here.
Yeah, you did say this was more of a hobby for him.
That's exactly it. The only people coming in are our friends like Adachi and Sachan. Which means that legend malt is probably just gonna sit behind the counter for the rest of our lives. I was worried over nothing. I feel better already.
Well, I don't know if you should be that relaxed about it. It's not like he'd carry something he was never gonna sell.
Welcome. What a lovely little establishment you have.
Your first time in, sir?
It is.
See? He does get actual customers.
First time I've seen a first-timer.
I've heard some rumors about this place from some good sources.
Oh yeah? Rumors about what?
That you carry the fabled whiskey known as the Legend Malt.
Well, then the rumors are true.
Pour me a glass, then, bartender. If anyone can appreciate such a thing, it's me.
Ichiban, what now?
What can we do? We gotta apologize before it's too late.
But I'm too broke to apologize.
Forget about the money. You'll be in even deeper shit if he drinks that.
I really must apologize, but my legend malt isn't for sale.
Why would that be? Is it reserved for your regulars?
Not exactly. I just don't think you're fit to order it.
Excuse me. You say this knowing I'm the editor-in-chief of Good Dandy?
He's from Good Dandy? No way.
What the hell is that?
It's a rich man's magazine full of nice cars and swanky restaurants.
Well, that's terribly unfortunate. For you, if you had even a modicum of customer service, I'd have written you an absolutely dazzling review.
Put me in your magazine or don't. That's your call to make.
Believe you me, I'll be giving you the front page. Everyone's going to know about the snob running this backwater hole.
This your idea of a quarrel, sir?
Perhaps, but was it not you who flung the first stone?
Fine. You backed me into a corner here. The legend malt on that shelf is something I ordered for a very special customer. I don't intend to offer it to anyone but her.
And what makes her so special?
The fact that she stole my heart. That bottle was to be a symbol of my affection. Time and time again, she would tell me how she dreamt of being able to try it. So I took it upon myself to indulge her, and waited for her to arrive. But for as long as I waited, she never came through the door. 6 months went by. Then a year. Until I finally got word that she had been in a car accident. She was taken from me. In some ways, that legend malt is the only thing I have left of her.
Oh.
Given that, are you still going to insist I pour it?
I have walked through the doors of many a bar in my time, but I've never met a bartender with a tale like that. That quiet strength. The very essence of good dandy magazine.
He didn't even get to take a whiff of the bottle, and now he never will. I guess that settles it.
Yeah, but now it's even bigger than we thought. We gotta do the honest thing and come clean.
Why?
Didn't you hear that story? The legend malt's a treasure of his lost love.
Ugh, I know, but I'll never be able to replace it on pocket change.
Well, if you can't do it alone, then I'll help out.
You serious, Ichiban?
Yeah. All I've been doing till now is help you find ways to dodge the problem. What I should have done is help you do the right thing. Meaning, I'm just as guilty. We're in this together, man.
Ichiban, you're a great guy, you know that? But I can't take advantage of you like that, man. I've got to come up with that money somehow.
Ha! What a jackass. He swallowed that story hook, line, and sinker.
Come again?
That long-lost love of mine? She never even existed.
Then why wouldn't you pour him the legend malt?
And back when I opened the place, I figured I'd need some high-end stuff behind the counter to draw in the big spenders. So I picked up an empty bottle of legend malt and filled it with bargain barrel whiskey. Purely for show. Nobody actually orders anything that expensive. But every once in a while, a dimwit like him waltzes in. So I give them the same old sob story, and they scatter like roaches.
So Namba, that means what you drank was...
Bottom shelf swill.
You gotta be shitting me!
Hey, what the hell's so funny?
You gotta hear this! Guess what Namba did?
Come on, don't say it. Don't you dare. Sir, you can ignore this, Joker.
I don't understand you people.
Guess it was the look of that bottle that got me thinking it was real. That ever happened to you? Where the taste is all in your head?
Hey, just be grateful you don't have to worry anymore.
I still have to worry about people finding out. Ichiban, you wouldn't tell Adachi or Sachan about this, would you? You can't.
Don't worry, man. I wouldn't rat you out like that.
So, you'll keep it a secret?
Yeah. Well, you have to buy me a drink. Bargain barrel whiskey, okay?
Sure. It's a deal.
Look at you. You're blending in already, Zhao.
You know it. Turns out drinks taste a lot better without bodyguards watching your every move.
Yeah? So that was the life of the former leader of the Yokohama Lumang.
That shit was dumped on me from the day I was born. Kind of a drag. Growing up knowing you had a fucking script.
Well, the nice thing about alcohol is it tastes better if you complain while you're drinking it.
Ah, sure. Enjoy my childhood trauma. But I guess after all the shit you've been through, you've earned it.
Your dad led the Yokohama Lumang before you, right? What's he doing now?
He died a few years after retiring. Right in his bed. He's lucky he never got shot or stabbed.
Hey, yeah. That's a real achievement for a gang boss.
Yeah, I guess so. He only managed it by sleeping with one eye open his whole life. No matter how you slice it, it's not a great way to live. I sure as hell didn't want to lead the Liumang. But Mabuchi, this shit was always up his alley.
You mean Laoma? What even happened to that guy? I haven't even seen him since we kicked his ass during the whole Omi Alliance thing.
Don't you know what the Yokohama Liumang does to traders? They use them as filling that goes inside meat buns.
What? You serious? Right now Laoma is... Baoma?
You're fucking hilarious. But I was kidding. You think I'm the kind of guy who'd do that?
Yeah, I thought it was a joke. Him being your right-hand man and everything. And you're not the kind of guy to turn a brother into a meat bun, no matter what he did.
Appreciate that. I like to think I don't give off that vibe. I did stop short of giving Mabuchi what he deserved, after all the shit he put me through.
What does that mean? Did you kill Mabuchi?
Oh, you're softer than any bun out there. Look at you all worried.
I just don't like the thought of that happening to people.
Even creeps like Mabuchi, who murdered your boss without a second thought.
Even creeps like him. All I wanted was to knock that guy's lights out and hand him to the cops.
But by the time his lights were nice and knocked out, the Omi showed up, and you never saw him again, did you?
You really did kill him, didn't you?
Alright, I'm bored of messing with you. I didn't kill him.
Oh, had a feeling you didn't.
Why is that?
Hard to explain, but I don't get that vibe from you. Not one bit. In fact, it always kind of felt to me like your hard-ass act was just a show for your boys. A front you put on.
Ah, that's a little harsh there, eh, Kasuga-kun?
You don't strike me as the type to lock guys up or torture them either. Especially one of your own, like Mabuchi.
He and I call the same place home. Nothing could make me take his life. But now, Songhui's in charge of the Yokohama Liumang. It's up to her to settle things if Mabuchi shows his face again. He's the reason Komiju's a pile of ashes, so I don't think she'll be treating him as nice as I would.
Probably not.
Which is why I gave Mabuchi the heads up and told him to leave Ijincho.
Really? Well, that's taking things into your own hands.
A few of his boys went with him, and I forgave the ones that wanted to stick around. It's a hard reset. Clean slate for everyone. Songhui was good with that.
You two are more generous than I thought.
Mabuchi brought in a lot of cash for us, and he was damn consistent about it. The fact that he kept a bunch of shit hidden from us was an issue, but I could deal.
So you knew about it and you just let it slide?
The guys from my dad's generation were pissed, for sure. Kept saying Mabuchi was breaking sacred laws of the gang. But what did they expect from a sadist in Japan's most famous gray zone? That he'd have a moral compass or some shit?
Seriously?
How about we toast to Mabuchi, wherever he might be?
Well, he's no friend of mine, but what the hell. If you can cheer to him, I can too.
Now we're talking.
Yo, Sachan.
Oh, Ichiban. Perfect timing. Listen to this.
What's up? Oh, is it about Nanoha?
Yeah. I worked up the courage to call her and asked if she'd been caught up with any bad guys lately.
And how'd that go?
Well...
Not good, huh? Gotta say, I wouldn't have started with the bad guys line.
I just couldn't find the right thing to say.
Yeah, I know it's hard. But all that matters is getting Nanoha away from that dirtbag.
I don't know. We'd been apart for so many years, I was probably way out of line to tell her to break up with her boyfriend. I'm pretty sure she wouldn't even take my calls if she knew I've been checking up on her this entire time. But at least she still doesn't realize I know about her being employed at a soapland. She can never find out, not ever. I'll pretend not to know for the rest of our lives if I have to. But how do I help her without letting on what I know? If I do nothing, Katsuragawa might bankrupt her and she'll end up right back at the soapland. Oh, what do I do? What do I do? I'm freaking out!
Well, I guess I'll just have to use my ace in the hole.
Huh? You've had a plan this whole time?
I sure do. You introduce Nanoha to a guy who's better than her boyfriend. Then she'll drop that loser like a rock.
No way. Her heart is a complete mystery. I mean, we're talking about a woman who fell in love with Katsuragawa.
Hear me out. You bring in a shining stud that makes all the other dudes look like ass. I bet he'll catch her eye.
Okay, but you're forgetting I don't know any guys like that. Where do I find a stud?
Come on. I'm sure he's closer than you think.
K-POP だ K-POP。K-POP か
You're
チャイニー
looking
ズ。
at him.
You think you're the dreamy type, Ichiban? That's even funnier than your hair.
I wasn't joking.
Sorry. Sorry. Whew, if it helps, I definitely feel more cheerful about this now.
Good shit then.
Okay, what else can we do? There has to be something.
Well, if you really don't think we can convince Nanoha to dump him, I don't know. Wait, we've been looking at this all wrong. We need to get Katsuragawa to stay away from Nanoha, not the other way around.
How are you gonna do that? Beat him up and run him out of town?
If he were the kind of guy to give up just like that, sure. But he probably isn't. Especially now that he knows Nanoha's willing to be his piggy bank. If we screw this up, he might even take her with him when he bails.
I can't let that happen.
I think what we gotta do is crush his pride. Like, get Nanoha to break up with him without shedding a single tear. As if he's nothing to her.
And how do we do that?
It's so obvious, Sachan. Haven't you caught on yet?
To what?
You pretend to be Nanoha and break up with him. Use the twin angle to your advantage. Yeah. March in and tell Katsuragawa you never want to see him again. I'll stand there and look intimidating while you give him the boot. That'll have him running.
I see. That might actually work.
Let's do it. All we need is to find out where Katsuragawa's hanging out. Your employees could probably do that, right?
No problem. I'll tell the girls to start looking for him right away.
Great. We wait for their word, and we move in for the kill. It'll go fine. I'll be right there with you to make sure he doesn't give you trouble.
It's a date. Good thinking today, Ichiban. I'll go tell the girls to start asking around.
She and her sister are a handful. But it feels like we're finally gonna wrap this up.
K-POP どこにもいないんだが、どうすればいい？
Yo, Adachi-san.
Hey, Kasuga. Thanks for being there during the settlement the other day.
Not a problem. Think of the story we can tell now. You playing a rich guy and me playing your secretary.
I thought it suited us perfectly, to tell the truth. Now how about I buy you a meal? Hmm? Beef bowl sound good? 'Hell
'Hell yeah! Let's go to Akahushimaru.
？
Huh?
ええ、春日。Thanks for being there during the settlement the other day. Not a problem. Think of the story we can tell now. You playing a rich guy and me playing your secretary. I thought it suited us perfectly, to tell the truth. Now how about I buy you a meal? Hmm? Beef bowl sound good?
'Hell yeah! Let's go to Akahushimaru. What should I get? The new special looks good, but there's also the old standby.
Come on, when someone's treating you, you gotta go with just a standard beef bowl.
Aw, man, really? Well, at least let me get a large. Huh? Adachi-san, isn't that... Takashi? Hey, Taka!
Pipe down, dumbass! If he sees me like this, he's gonna know I'm not rich.
Right. Didn't think about that.
Not to mention, a rich philanthropist and his secretary eating at a dingy little beef bowl joint looks pretty weird. Let's get out of here before Takashi sees us.
What about the beef bowl?
Next time.
あー、これバレちゃうパターンか。お、
Hey, that's the con man.
Hasegawa.
Okay, even though it was a bust, I still think that guy Yamada is a total sucker. We gotta try again. Okay, come on. Just keep the pen pal thing with him going for now, okay?
Okay.
Come on. We'll come up with a better plan. One that'll make us really rich.
You think the two of them could be working together?
Hey, what's going on here, Takashi?
Yamada-san?
What are you guys doing here?
Oh, we're getting beef bowls, cause we're broke. Now tell... Yeah, that's right.
Huh?
Surprise. Adachi's and this is Takashi.
We're the ones who need an apology.
You stay out of this.
No, I'm gonna fuck you up now. Messing with us?
Screw this.
You're gonna be sorry. Cool.
マジか。人思いに殺してやるよ。
Come on now. Got something for
お
you.
お、マジで
I got this. Let's
か
go.
レベル19のくせになかなかタフじゃん。
I'm so sorry.
Do you have...
Hey, Kosuke.
Takashi-kun?
I just found this letter in my room. What's this about scraping a bumper and an out-of-court settlement? I don't remember anything about this.
Crap. I can explain.
Dude, did you pretend to be me to squeeze some money out of Yamada-san?
I'm really sorry, man.
Hang on a sec, you two.
Yeah, seriously.
And you sent it to Takashi.
Are you serious?
Then...
He's my roommate. There was a time when we were both... Then Kosuke gave up on having a real career and started... My guess is they pressured him into impersonating me. He's not the type to stand...
Look, all I did...
I'd like to apologize.
What?
I've known for a while. Nobody else would have cared about me enough to support me all this time. But you fought for my father's innocence until the very end.
You know about that?
Yes. Even back then, I knew about it.
Well, then let me say now what I should have said then. I'm sorry I didn't save your dad, Takashi.
Please, don't apologize. You've already helped me make sure that nobody else will suffer like my father did. Because... I passed the bar exam.
You what?
Really? You kicked that exam's ass?
I did. They announced the results yesterday.
Hot damn! That's great, Takashi! Really great!
I owe it all to you. All your help over the years really made a difference.
No, well, if you ask me, it was worth every yen.
But I don't want to keep leaning on you, so I ask that you let your most recent gift be the last.
Sure, you don't gotta ask me twice. Even though, this time next month I might be a little sad not to help you.
Oh, then just keep sending it. After all, I could argue that you legally obligated yourself to keep doing it once you started. What? It's just kidding, that's not real. And I should know. I'm a lawyer.
Looks like Takashi-kun pulled a fast one on you, Adachi-san.
Yeah, just for a second there.
Nice to see a kid achieve something so big. I mean, that's some real leveling up. Becoming a lawyer.
Yeah, God, Takashi must have worked his ass off. Ah, he's a good kid, all right.
Adachi-san, I think your kindness is what taught him to be good.
Ah, I don't know. Even without my money, I'm sure he would have made his dreams come true one way or another. That's just the kind of guy he is. You know, he'll be a great lawyer. He'll help a lot of people.
I think you're right about that.
Thanks for everything, Kasuga.
Come on, don't get all sentimental on me.
I mean, it's just that, you know, we've gone through some shit together, you know? But in the end, it's, you know, good times. I'm glad we met each other. I really am.
What a coincidence. I was just thinking the exact same thing.
Nice that the feeling's mutual. How about we celebrate Takashi passing the test with a drink?
Yeah, to great future lawyers and great former detectives.
Cheers!
Cheers!
これでもしかしてマックスアウトした。来た、マックスアウトしましたね。
Yes, I'm doing fine. Thank you for your concern, Song-Hui.
Yo, what'd she say?
Oh, nothing. She just asked for an update on the situation. That's all.
Yeah, bet it feels pretty good knowing a babe like her's looking out for you.
I'm blessed to serve one such as she. The Jungi-han I served before was quite the blessing as well. If I'm to talk about Jungi-han, I'll need to provide some backstory.
Cool with me. I got plenty of time.
Ha! Then I hope you're prepared to sit for a while.
Sure, I'm all ears.
My father was one of the stray Jingwon Mafia I mentioned earlier. And to speak further, he was a lowly thug left behind in a foreign land. In my youth, I was relentlessly beaten by my father, in addition to being neglected by those around me. Home, school. No place provided me with even the slightest bit of sanctuary. Thinking back on it, I'm sure I was a rather dissolute child.
Well, you're not alone in feeling like you got no place to go. Plenty of people feel that way, even civilians.
Feelings of isolation are really that common, huh? Not sure if I should be comforted or not.
Sorry, didn't derail the story, did I?
The real Jungi-han had also been raised in a poor and neglected environment like me. But rumors of his strength, intelligence, and ambition started to swirl. And as the men from my father's generation grew older, Jungi-han started gaining more and more power. In fact, it was thanks to him that the stray Jingon found any success in Kamurocho at all. While the Tojo clan was being choked by anti-violence laws, the Jingon Mafia were steadily gaining a sense of existence.
Sounds like he must have been pretty cool.
Yes. But my father, who underestimated him as some young greenhorn, failed to prove his worth and was left trying to catch up. A staunch alcoholic, he used what drunken wit he had to try to get close to the young leader. So, eventually he worked out a plan. He would mold his own son's face, set him up as a body double, and offer him as tribute.
What?
I was drugged by my father, and this was done to me while I slept.
No way. He did all that just to impress the boss?
When he was presented with a body double, even the real Jungi-han could only force a smile. But he saw what had gone into my face, and he respected the effort. So he said it was a fair offer, and took me under his wing.
And what's your father doing now?
He's long since passed away. His health was already in steady decline, and for what it's worth, I'm sure he wasn't opposed to dying at the bottom of a bottle.
That's a shame. Guess you two weren't super close then.
Jungi-han kept me at his side as much as possible so that I might learn his mannerisms. Strangely enough, it was the only place that finally felt like home. I was very much his servant, and he was very much my master. But in spite of that, we shared a lot of laughs in the long time we spent together. A lot of drinks as well. And though I was his double, It would be rude of me to say that we came to resemble twins.
So the way you're talking right now, that's something Jungi Han taught you?
The real Jungi Han had a way with words I never will. And when he walked into a room, you knew it. Try as I might, I would never reach his level.
Hearing you say all that makes me even more curious.
About what, may I ask?
You know what? I've always thought you were a pretty sharp dresser.
That's kind of you to say.
But you said the real Jungi Han was even more refined or whatever. So does that mean he was as stylish as you?
He was indeed quite stylish. His fashion sense had a great influence on mine.
Oh yeah? Looks that could kill and close the match, huh?
You take interest in the most unexpected things.
Yeah, that's how I roll. But you know, despite me saying sorry, there's still one thing I gotta ask.
And that is?
Isn't it about time you told me your real name?
Ah.
Still a no, huh?
Ha. Just a little taken aback is all. I have no problem telling you. When I was first brought into this world, I was given the name Yeonsu Kim.
Yeonsu Kim.
I have no intention of returning to that name. Not when the real Jungi Han has already passed away.
The real one took a bullet to the head, yeah?
Correct. There was conflict with a group from Hiroshima that had made its way into Tokyo. As far as I'm concerned, the Jingon Mafia died along with him. At the time, I was given the role of staring down the other hostile groups within Kamurocho as Jungi Han. But with their real boss dead, the remaining Jingon Mafia in Kamurocho were nothing but paper tigers. Should our enemies have discovered this, we would have been ousted and probably killed.
If it were me, I probably would have gotten the hell out of Kamurocho. Left everything behind.
だからカムロ町にいないんじゃないの？
That's precisely what I did. The few remaining members at my side did the same. But seeing as the Jingon Mafia was all I'd ever had, I had no place to go. No refuge where I might reconvene with my allies. I was lost and alone in the world. Like a man dying of thirst in the desert, surrounded by a hungry pack of wolves.
Sounds like you had it rough.
I found a faint glimmer of hope in the Korean community here in Japan. But even they refused to accept me, as I was nothing but a criminal to them. Thinking on it now, I should have expected as much from those living an honest life. But still, in my confusion and dismay, I challenged them, asking why they would abandon one of their own.
I get that.
It was enough to make them call the police. And I'm sure that under normal circumstances, I would have been taken away. However...
Huh? Come on, man. Don't just leave me hanging.
The police officers were imposters. And instead of being incarcerated, I was brought to my new home, Yokohama Ijincho.
So those fake officers, were they?
Members of the Komijul, sent to retain me under the orders of Samui. It turned out that the Komijul was a place that many former Jingon members had drifted to. Those that distanced themselves from Kamurocho slowly but surely found their way there.
Oh yeah. Songhui did mention something about the Komijul having roots in the Jingon Mafia.
Indeed. Komijul is essentially a safe haven for refugees. That's why they tend to keep quiet and remain exceedingly closed off. For many years, they spied on the Jingon Mafia in Kamurocho from a distance, keeping close watch on their movements. I was fortunately saved by the hand that the Komijul had extended to me. Moreover, Songhui told me what had happened to the real Jungi Han. That he had been shot in the head by an assassin hired by the Hiroshima Yakuza, taken by surprise from the shadows.
An assassin? So what'd you guys do? You kill him?
No. By the time I'd learned of his existence, he was already dead. I wasn't even given the chance for revenge. I spent many of the following days in despair. But even though I was in such a hollow state, Sunghui patiently waited for my recovery. She was more like family to me than my abusive father could have ever hoped to be. A sister to replace the brother I had found in Jungi-han. Frankly, nothing would hurt me more than to betray her expectations and disappoint her. And Kasuga-san, as for you and me... I'm wondering what sort of boss you will be. I'm looking forward to seeing what you can do.
I don't remember ever becoming your boss. Right now, I think drinking buddy is a better term, don't you?
I see. Then I will do my best to live up to that title.
いいね、K-POP と仲良くなったわ。
Well, guess that's finally it for introductions. He sure is shy, that young Soo Kim.